So playing in the background is sounds of Deborah Mambo and Pastelio. I want you to just listen to this part. Mumansa shakwe imosanga ubutusho dida aliwa mumwana lesa. Like God is good. God is good, and we testify of His goodness. So before we are flagged on YouTube, this is it, our sound. Guys, welcome. Glad to have you here. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks. Yeah. So that song, playing it, as I was just reminded. I think that song was released like 4 or 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like always a powerful testimony to just see that Aliwa Momana Lesa. Like it's yeah, so sounds of Deborah Mambo featuring Pastelio. I did say his Facebook is now Pastelio. It's back to Pastelio.
Oh, okay.
So he was Leonard Kakungu. So he was Pastelio.
Yeah.
Kakungu. And then he decides to rebrand.
Yeah.
To Leonard
Kakungu.
So that he drops the titles and then back to Pastelio.
Back to Pastelio.
Yeah, but how have you been?
I've been good. Lusaka with his up and downs, but I've been good. I can't complain. At least Adiwama, he's been faithful.
There's a song I listened to on TikTok. I don't know who sang it. You've been faithful, Lord, from the ages past.
Well, your name is forever. Like, Dancing or you can.
Yeah.
Don't sing.
But the version I mostly listen to is like by a lady. I think she
for real
did. It's like a slow paced one. You know those TikTok videos when somebody's going through something.
It's a TikTok one. It's a lady. I think she's from Nigeria. The one.
No, I haven't heard that version.
It's the one.
I think maybe you know when you listen to Dancing, there's a way his sounds just like they stick in your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why.
It's actually the one that most people use for their TikToks than the original sound.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my TikTok that's full of dancing.
TikTok. Speaking of which, I haven't been that active on TikTok. I know if I go back, I'll find like my wife sent me like videos.
It's a good thing.
Because I haven't logged in into my personal TikTok in like a long time. Like, yeah.
No, but it's a good thing.
That what?
That you at least you receive videos from her. Others don't.
Your question is, who will she send them to?
Oh wow! Oh my God!
No, like I don't know if you. It's not even like just like husband and wife type of relationship. Yeah. It's even just like friends. You know, like there's certain things which you find, and then you're just like, oh yeah, I know. Let me share
with this person. Yeah.
So.
Okay, makes sense. So you're the one who with the do you share reels with her as well?
No, because the thing is this, like I'm never that involved on social media. Like even Facebook sometimes, like it's just like, oh hey, I've logged in. Like, oh, what's the top story? Like, oh that's the story. Okay, that's all. Because sometimes I feel like social media is so toxic for my mind. It doesn't make me think properly sometimes. So I just decide to stay away.
On an average day, how many hours do you think you spend on social media?
I spend more time on my YouTube and WhatsApp.
I know someone.
I'm the type who can view. So I have over 2,600 contacts on my phone.
Are they blocked status? Like,
no, I don't have any person blocked.
Oh, okay.
Like, I have 0 blocks.
Okay.
So even when I post something, one of the things which I have seen is that my WhatsApp status, if I post something, I know I might see like maybe like 200 people viewed. Yeah. But I know more.
There are so many ghost viewers.
Yes. So like that I always get to see. So that's I always look at it, say my WhatsApp status platform. I treat it as well like
now Facebook, it's not even your personal WhatsApp. It's now like it's part of your brand. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, plus you guys who have access to my phone, so
You guys
sometimes
who?
it feels like only person who knows my password is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but so like social media, I'm not that. I do a lot of YouTube because
Yeah.
YouTube it's pretty much like long form content. So I'm the kind who will take time to listen to like a 3 hour podcast.
You do. You really do.
Like I
Like
do.
even if you're busy, you find
Yes.
a way of splitting it, but you will finish
So
it.
actually, there are times I'm even like writing my assignment, then
Yeah.
I'm listening to a
Oh my
podcast.
god.
You know that thing where they say like
Yeah.
ladies are good at
Good at
multitasking.
multitasking.
Like I do that
For real?
well. Like
Okay.
I
Okay.
can have 1,000 things to do, right?
And you
And I'll still deliver, yes.
yeah.
And I'll still watch a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
or I might watch music videos, or
Yeah.
like I might just like watch the most random thing. And that's why like if I look at sometimes my YouTube algorithm, I'm just like, this is a messed up algorithm.
You know, like I'm not. I should be the last person you should ask to connect their phone to the Bluetooth on YouTube because you never know what's gonna play.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
So like because with YouTube, because that's where I mostly get most of my news from. Not
Okay.
even Facebook. Because sometimes with Facebook it's just like a lot of noise.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
want it'll be hard to like get truth.
Yeah.
So sometimes if I'm even like looking for specific Zambia news, there's
Yes.
specific YouTube channels I followed. So okay, this one
Hmm.
I know I'll go accurate to it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's interesting. So narrowing it back to what you said, like in terms of handling things, right? Today when I was going for church, I was with a friend of mine in the car and we were like going to church.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like talking about a particular photographer. So she says, I want to do a shoot for my birthday and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's really, really nice, right? So she mentions a particular photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but why do you want to go back? You know, because like last time what he did is, I think he only sent like 3 pictures.
Yeah.
And this particular photographer is like in the church space, right?
Mm.
So I'm like, I really think you shouldn't go back. Like I have other friends who are like budget friendly that you can like go to and whatnot. And she's like,
I'm budget friendly too.
yeah, just I know what you mean, but not for her speak right now. Yeah. So I remember. So now she says, you know, the last time I was there,
Mm-hmm.
a bride walked in, okay, and she's so upset and she's pissed and she's like, "Ew, my picture's younger. So like now that she's done like ranting and whatever, so she leaves.
Yeah.
And she turns to him and says, "But why do you get work that you know you can't finish? Like, why don't you just say no? Like,
Yeah.
I have enough on my plate. I
Yeah.
won't." I'm like, guys, for the love of man, it's crazy. So now he under delivers, and I'm like, you see, even though someone is your friend, but you do not deliver simply because they're your friend, because now it sends out a very bad.
True,
message.
like
So it's crazy.
and actually, like I think communication is everything. That's why we need PR people. Like
Hire me.
each company, like you pretty much as well, you need like a private person to
Yes.
help, or consultant to come through and just help you with communication,
Yeah.
because a lot of things happen.
Ish.
One of the things which I learned earlier on is the fact that if I know for a fact that I told you to say I'll deliver tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the way I live my life is that my life is scheduled.
Yeah.
That is why I don't like it when somebody gives me an impromptu visit,
Okay.
because they're just like, yeah, into my time.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And sometimes people will be like, when I tell people to say I actually have to mentally prepare for
Like
gatherings. Because I have to be like in a correct headspace.
Yes.
Because there are times when I just want to be quiet.
Mm-hmm. And now you think, I'm in a bad mood. It's not that.
Because in a mumutu mwanga nifuna 5 million.
Yeah.
So
Iwe unipasa. Now ufakirepo pressure yako. Yeah.
So like I need my time to be able to process certain things. So like people don't understand. Like part of the reasons why when I decided to like stay alone, like I was staying alone. So that I am able to think properly.
Yeah.
Because you need your mind to be able to do certain things. Anyways, back to the conversation is that if you know that you're unable to deliver, communicate in advance.
Yeah.
Clients will not be upset with you. If you know that something has happened where you're unable to deliver, or maybe you've lost the things, communicate as well when things immediately happens, so that you don't because when you delay in delivering, especially in the creative space, and that's what I've seen many, many times, and people lose out on clientele.
Yeah.
They lose out on a reputation which they've been building.
Mm-hmm.
Is you lose content. Unangala 3 months z.
Not instead of
And
you
then
saying
it's
anything.
now the client following up.
Yeah.
Oh, where's this? But if you have proper channels of communication, like even if yes, they'll be upset, but they'll understand. And will be grateful to say, oh, thank you for communicating. And then now you as well offer remedies. So say, okay, maybe you do another shoot for them or whatsoever happens.
Yeah.
If you lost the wedding pictures before they gain the weight, just ask them to rewear the dresses, pay for their makeup, and
Oh my God. Yeah. So it's crazy. People are just it's crazy. And I think the other thing that I remember even before you got back to this was how we need to be able to communicate where we stand in people's lives. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we as Zambians have this entitlement towards people. So it's like, what do you mean I'm inconveniencing you? But a very cheat. You know, and then you know what I mean? But simply because you found me seated does not mean I didn't have anything to do. You know, I did have stuff to do. So it's crazy. People being entitled and just people always having opinions and things like that.
Ndemwe life. I'm looking at the script which you've shared.
Yeah.
But before I go to those, there's a story which I saw. So, Kairi Tinaba, student doctor in our midst.
Come on, doc.
So there was a post which I saw on Thursday. It says, "Get pregnant before you turn 30. Fibroids are real." So this was a statement which was put out. I think somebody attributed it to Dr. Mjajati, that he's the one who wrote it sometime back in 2019. Yes.
Get pregnant before 30.
So what Dr. Mjajati said on the 25th of November 2019, before we labeled that So he says that one of the viable remedies for fibroids is pregnancy. Get pregnant. And then now these guys 3 days ago, which was Thursday, reposted and said, get pregnant before you turn 30, fibroids are real. Now, such a loose statement will then encourage I wanted to say the Lydias to get pregnant, but then she'll say that, why do I always mention her name? But you're like the closest.
The closest to home.
Yeah, so a student doctor.
Please clarify.
I know fibroids are a big thing, especially when it comes to menstrual health for a lot of ladies. I know the side effects is that it also gets to affect childbearing and all. But when you're younger, they're not that prominent. So please shed more light before the whole nation decides to have children. And then we have more voters.
Okay. So when it comes to the topic of fibroids, it's kind of broad.
Speak close to the mic.
Okay. When it comes to this topic of fibroids, I read somewhere where it said all women have fibroids. All women have fibroids. Just that for some, it's symptomatic. For others,
when you say symptomatic,
when I say symptomatic, what I mean is that they have the symptoms to say you have this condition, such as heavy menstrual periods, abdominal pains. When they go for a scan, they will be told to say, no, you've got this mass in your uterus and whatnot. So there's all that going on for somebody who's symptomatic. Whereas for some of us, if we go for a scan, they'll actually tell you, there's nothing here, we can't say anything. But every woman has it. Just that for some people, it's there, and for others, it's not there. And also, when I was rotating in my 4th year, during my OBGY rotation, I was taught to say...
Gynecology.
Yes, gynecology. Yes, gynecology. But the doctor that was there actually said, you know what? Some of these women who say that, no, but my fibroids, they go for a scan, they check them, then they find fibroids that they are not yet symptomatic, but yet they are found. There's a high chance of them growing, being bigger and whatnot. So he said the only way to treat those that are like that most of the times is for a lady to get pregnant. When they get pregnant, it's like it shrinks I don't know the science behind that.
Yeah.
It's like it shrinks them and they're able to have children. But if at all they let them to grow from that, I don't know if they use centimeters or meters. I've forgotten the
Yeah.
units. Yes, if they allow them to grow, sometimes it becomes difficult for certain ladies to give birth. Sometimes she might she might get pregnant and have a child, but the child's growth inside her uterus, it's like competing. There's this mass that's there in the abdomen, in the uterus. There's also this other mass that is in the uterus. So there's what is called fetal growth restriction. Yes.
Baby growth restriction.
Yes,
of
it's
course,
being restricted.
Medical terms.
So so you find that the baby is born full at term. Like when I say full at term, I mean 9 months.
9 months.
Yes. 9 months. But yet, then you're wondering, how come when you probe further, you actually find, okay, she has another mass in the abdomen and they have to treat it out. But it's just a saying to say, those who have fibroids, I know he was loose and whatnot, but it has some medical facts to read.
Yeah.
Others say, no, the only management plan is a hysterectomy.
What's that?
Okay, where they remove the uterus. Some you remove the entire uterus. Some they say, okay, it's just...
So you remove the entire uterus to manage the fibroids?
So some grow.
Okay. So what you're saying is every single female does have fibroids, right?
We all have a percentage of it.
Yeah. So I remember there's a certain lady who's also like very, very active on the socials. I think she's got a social media page. So where she was talking about her fibroid experience and how she lost like a baby after she found out she was pregnant, but then she lost the baby because of fibroids. Then I remember her talking about how at times it's the foods that females eat that what's the word? They enhance, they enhance the growth of the fibroids. So now it does make sense. What you're saying? Yeah.
So it has many factors, really. For some, it's just them. Like that's just your biological makeup. You're just like that. You're bound to having them.
There's that condition. Is it PCOS? What do you?
Oh, PCOS. Yes.
PCOS and PMOS. The one that was recently.
I don't know about the recent one because I've not yet like rotated to the the department yet. It's like my last rotation. But what I know, what I learned like in my 4th year, PCOS has it's like this syndrome. It has different conditions. One of it being the same fibroids, others having cysts. Like I'm sure you've heard of ladies saying, "I've got cysts and all that." Yeah.
So what's the difference between a cyst and a fibroid? Because both of them are growth.
Okay.
Like
different.
so, both of them are like growth. Like.
Okay, it's like umuntu alela and that they have a lipoma and they also have ichpute. Like
what's the
Okay,
Speak
clearly.
to us like we're babies.
Okay.
Explain
It's
to a
like
5-year-old.
Okay. It's like this person is saying, ninkwate chifimbire nachi chenero chapange chipompo. Like, does that make
It's formed pus, yes.
You know how, or maybe like when you're cooking and then the oil.
That's a blister, right?
Yes.
That's a blister. Then you have like this other person who's like
Speak to
okay, you have like this other person who has like an abscess or maybe a pimple.
Yes.
Let's give an example of a pimple, which is common.
Yes.
Yes, they have a pimple. Are they the same? They're like different. The other one is filled with water. The other one is like
Filled with-
mass.
Yeah.
So for the fibroids, it's just like a mass. It's hard. It's hardish in nature.
Mhm.
Whereas for a cyst, it's kind of watery inside. It's a cyst. So most
So
of
it's not even harmful.
no, mostly they are not, unless it's like big. And mostly they just like go to cut to from the ages, especially when it comes to the treatment plan. They just like surgically, they just cut so that it doesn't grow further. And they just suction whatever is inside out. Not necessarily that they're going to like remove it out like that.
Yeah.
Different
That
from.
makes sense.
So should people get pregnant before 30?
If they're married. Actually, before 30, I would put it back to conditions like babies, congenital conditions that babies are born with, like Down syndrome. I would say increase, especially in writing, putting it in writing. most cases for Down syndrome come about with maternal age, increasing maternal age. So that's why mostly they advise to say women should get pregnant before that. But if you're not married, please don't get pregnant. Who is going to take care of your child? And it's like
the baby
We
that
have
morally
rich
correct.
single mothers now.
right now they are being
I know
bought
we
to-
have
oh,
them, but
okay.
it's not the correct way to call about it. Like you're making your
I
children.
know a lot of people who just want to have children and not have a husband.
Okay,
they don't
get
want
married
a husband
first
in the picture.
and have children. Otherwise,
Somebody can just say, "Oh, you know what? I'll do that, and then I'll repent to God."
you know. Anyway, I get you. I get you. I really get you. I get
You know, like, cause seeing this post, like, and just the comments, that's why I brought it up, because it's a statement which is like put out there, and that's how come you are finding that young people, like, by the age of 18 now, Montoni Mai.
16. 18
Okay.
is too big.
For him to
16 apa manje na 12 manje people are able to
I know
give birth.
somebody who
It's
got
crazy.
pregnant at like 13. So it
Yes.
happens. And guess what? This
And-
person is the father to this same kama girl, the same kama baby she had. He's like a married man, a home married man.
Oh my
with
God.
Was he
family.
arrested though?
Yeah, he was. But
And
I
then
don't know
released.
about now,
Mm.
like if he was released or whatnot.
Yeah, crazy way,
Ish.
crazy way, crazy way.
Crazy.
Because I know the thing about social media is that a lot of things happen, and a lot of things are just like thrown out there, and they affect how people look and do things.
yeah.
They inform how we think. And speaking of which, I think there was a video of that young girl who was
Ish.
talking about sleeping with
Sleeping with older men. Or
fort-
older.
40-year-old men and above.
Old.
Old men.
43,
and,
50.
and she looked like what, 18, 19,
18,
20 or so.
20.
So sometimes you can even find that she's 16 or 15.
Yeah.
Now, you know, for looking at, before we dive into all those details,
Yeah.
like, I watch a lot of videos of young people, and the question which always comes to my mind is that Nisha Abantu, I remember parents.
You know, I think it's not. You know, now we're really, even as parents now, right? Actually, let me.
You're speaking as a parent.
No.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. As a, you know, yeah. Anyways, yeah. But I think I want to bring it back to just the people that you know in your circle,
Mhm.
right? How many of them do you know? Maybe you've attended their children's birthday parties, and from their kid, maybe their kid is like 6 years old. The kid is in a crop top and a bum short.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll always see
you
that.
know?
They say, oh no,
So
it's
the
just
other thing-
children's expression.
Yeah.
And all those
But
things.
the other thing is, most parents now are leaning more onto the Western culture. Like, it's okay, it's not that bad, you know. Like, it's not.
But
that
you
deep.
know, we always accuse the Western culture, because there are
But-
two things involved.
Yeah.
What we see on TV is as well different from how
what
they live.
what's on the ground.
Because if we say Western culture, we'll speak of the Americas, right?
Yeah.
So it will be interesting for you to know that America is like 70 or 80% conservative and not liberal. So what we watch on TV is the liberal side.
Yeah.
Because the liberal guys are the ones who have all these bigger platforms,
Mhm.
the bigger channels and all.
Yeah.
So that's how come there's that massive push of the agenda on certain things. So yeah, it's what the information which we are getting and feeding into.
I think just like you've said, like the liberal Western culture is
Yep.
what's being adopted. And the fact that it's being adopted and not, what's the word, scrutinized by parents is really what's dangerous. Because now parents don't have a problem with getting, like, you know, like there's certain videos I also watch and I'm like, how did you leave the house doing this, you know? Or
Yep.
maybe they're saying this is my boyfriend and they're wearing matching clothes, you know, like Comesa and stuff like that. And you're like, guys, what's going on, you know? So it's I think it's the fact that we've got the liberal Western culture is being adopted so much so that even in when you go to like a secondary school, like it's a normal thing. Like if you're not catching up to that trend, then you're the one who's missing out. So and then we've got so many rebellious young people. I remember I was having a conversation with someone and they said, you know, the problem with us is we're forgetting the fact that a 17-year-old already knows what sex is. You get what I mean? Like we've got this ni mwana could be aziba, not until they come back pregnant. So it's the fact that we shun away from certain conversations all in the name of thinking they are young, but then not knowing that their mind can explore. So it's crazy. Yeah.
People are deep in the trenches doing crazy stuff. Yes.
For me, I think when I watched that video, right, I was looking at the girl being from. I think the parents are not even really that young. I think they are older parents. Most people that I've seen that misbehave are those that they have parents that are big, that are rarely on these platforms like TikTok. They really like watch TikToks. You know those big, the ones we call African parents now, the true ones, the legit ones, yes. And if they have a younger parent, it means it's that parent. You know those people that live in areas where, like, or in homes, you are raised in a home where everyone just insults, they say anything, like in a home maybe where you don't even have a father, like your mother just got pregnant, like such homes. Usually they are the girls that usually behave like that from what I've noticed. It's either your parents, they can't see what you're doing because they are old, or you live with your grandma that is not on social media platforms, or your mother is that, type of a person as well. Because mostly the thing that I've noticed is most people that were raised from homes where such things were abomination, even when you hear people talking about it casually, it's me, I feel shy when I see people, like even big people are talking about these things. I'm like, I feel shy amongst them. Like, or when I see a movie, like, or maybe people kissing and with my parents, I feel like I just want to stand up and just leave, because I'm just like, because growing up, for me, like growing up, my mom, I remember, I said this once, I was coming from school, I think I was in grade 6, I had learned about a condom. I was from like Dream Girls, those things. I came home and I mentioned the word condom and my mom was just like, "You're insulting." Told me never say that word again, it's an insult. So I grew up knowing a condom was an insult till I was in grade 8. That's when I knew, it's not an insult, it's actually this. So it's that thing of sometimes the way people were growing in the past, certain things were abomination to be mentioned and to be known in a particular age, which was, I think, a certain level of preservation that it brought. Because even as you are saying, for the Western culture, right? Remember, I was telling you about that podcast, the YouTube thing for tonight's conversation, where people sit like judges and people bring their issues.
Yeah.
I've noticed that even if they bring some Christian women there, like in America, but it's like they've all just agreed that it's normal for people to sleep with each other before marriage. Like it's just become a norm. And I think in Zambia, just that we are fearing to have this conversation, but it has just also become a norm in Zambia. It's just that we're just fearing to all accept that it has become a norm. Because when you go to university, like me being found in the corporate space, I've noticed that most of the people that I meet and my friends, when we have conversations about principles, when I say some of the things that I know that I can't compromise on, sometimes they look at me, they're like, "How old are you? You're behaving like an old woman, Because for them, they're just certain things that are normal. Even in university, most people say, "No, you can't find someone who in university who has never slept with anyone." I'm like, "No, we're not the same." Like, so you find such things have started being common because of the fact that I know it's good to allow people to know about certain information, but because there's now an over display of this information, kids now start at a very young age learning about sexual reproduction, and you find by the time they're like maybe in grade 4 or 5 or 6, they want to really know what the teacher was saying or fully experience what the teacher was saying. So you find, I think those things are also putting into.
So one of the other things which I'll say is that growing up, well, of course, I had present parents.
Special shout out to mom and
anyone
dad.
who was born in like a single household here.
Okay.
But you still had both the father and male and mother figure, right? Okay, that's meaning it doesn't apply to you. But anyways, my point is that I was brought up in a household with both mother and father around, and there are a lot of perimeters around. I think even like my first girlfriend was like after high school.
Was it
Like-
because of the fear of mom and dad, or
No,
you were just
it
like
was just
not good at reasoning?
no, it wasn't even that. It was just I to date I am not interested.
We need Mrs. K on the podcast.
So the point is this, that even the first girlfriend was, I don't know if I've ever shared this. It was like, oh, God said that you're the one. So
You're the one
but-
who went to tell her.
no.
Uh-huh.
No,
Okay.
you've shared it. When
I
the girl
have, right?
told you that you're the
Yes.
one. Let's go
So
Wait,
so it was that arrangement, right? So we
Yeah.
were obeying God in
God.
doing so. So that was the premise
Yeah.
of the so yeah, but the point which I'm trying to bring across is that a lot of parents have left are not raising their children. They've left
Yeah.
musicians to raise their
Sure,
children.
sure.
They've left it to the social media celebrities
Yeah.
to raise their children. They've left it to, I don't know who they want to raise their children, right? So it's really, really important for parents to be available and around for their children, to know what's happening. I saw a video of Mrs. Yande Mwenye. Yande Siame Mwenye. She was talking, I think, at a girls' conference where she's like, me growing up, my mother would not just because I sell t-shirts nagula moto kanende wapas. She asked me to say, okay, wafuma kwisa, like
Yeah.
where did you get this money and how did
She
you
would be
manage
questioned
to
for it.
raise money from selling t-shirts and
Yeah.
buy me a car which is worth 150,000, and then if I calculate your inventory,
the math
like
is not mathing.
equals a 20 pin. Like, so all those things, right? Where parents are no longer questioning. Parents are no longer asking to say, okay, why are you showing up this time? There's no like order. Like
Yeah.
it's I stayed with my parents for some time. And even when I had already started working on my own, like I would always report. I would always tell them where I am, who I am with. And I've always done that from the get-go. And I would always communicate to say, if I know to say, oh, this wedding which I'm shooting will probably finish like at 23, I would still communicate to say, hey, this is the time I'll come through and I need somebody to come and just open the gate for me. So it's those things where you're accountable
Yes.
from the get-go, where everybody knows who you are with. Like even now, like I'm married. Somebody will say, oh, you no longer need to do anything. But I'm still accountable to my wife.
Yeah.
Right? She knows who I am going to meet. Like, and as I said earlier, that my life is so structured. Like, it has a proper process. Like, even this Saturday, I know what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
The whole day, I know what I'm going to be doing. I know who I'll meet. If I have an accidental meetup, is a chitika, but I already know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like this whole week, I already know what I'm supposed to do. So it's that's structured. So we need that structure where we are following through, because kids now, like, so up and Kandapa East Park this time, like it's packed. Na madrip ya kukomesa
They don't wish they're
na
supposed to be in
kamwana,
class mate.
Vafara na Air Force One, like I don't know, like those big baggy stuff, like my fashionistas, like they look great. Like I would really like to photograph them, but what's just happening there? There's like a lot of drug abuse, sex. So now we're even complaining to say no, HIV cases are high, but because parents are not putting in the proper parameters to make sure that the children are safe and following to make sure that the children are all growing up in the fear of the Lord. For me, the fear of the Lord is everything. If you teach your child the word of God, even when they go out there, the word of God will still ring in their heads to say, boss, you do not belong here. You are better than this. You're not supposed to be here and all. So yeah, but seeing that girl say all those things confidently on camera, it was terrible. And then I saw somebody, I think, posted to say majority of our artists are producing things which are promoting drug abuse and sex.
Yeah.
And then when society gets messed up,
you
say we don't know where it's coming from.
But like this is what they are.
Right?
Yeah.
So that Yomap's placement of the keys was strategic.
Yes.
To like, I bet like somebody would come and say, no, it was a mistake. No, I'm a video editor. I know
Yeah.
how these things
To
work.
attract numbers.
Yes. You look at people like Towela. I know it's me saying this.
Well,
You know, one of the difficulties I've been having is sometimes saying things on this podcast.
and just
No, the thing is that I have I talk. These are
you
people
talk
I know.
to, okay,
right? So,
okay. Like you know them
so
away
sometimes
from.
when you even want to share your thoughts, you're like,
That's like-
nah, maybe it's Zonda. But
Okay.
anyways,
Yeah.
but people like her, right? Look at the content she's
Yeah.
putting out there. She's growing a fan base. Look at people like Zaven. Like,
Yeah,
who are the people who follow her?
young people.
Ludo. There's a cipher which was brought up. I think they talked about it last week.
Yeah.
The Ben Nombe cipher, and
I-
and Ludo was just like these bars were so
yeah,
weak
yeah,
that we
yeah.
need a thing.
It's crazy. I think just something that I remember we had a conversation offset where I think we're talking about the Bible,
Mhm.
and you said, this is what you said. You said, "I'm not your father to teach you the Bible."
Yes.
Yeah, and no, it wasn't. It's not me. You were telling, just putting it out there.
yeah.
But that's what you said.
But I pretty much said,
Yeah.
I am not your father.
I'm not your father. So I remember, but what you were trying to emphasize was the fact that if you're going to learn the Bible and like if you're going to learn about God,
Yeah.
it should come from your father, you
Yeah.
know? If your father is not in the story, you learning about God must come from the household where you're
Yeah.
coming from, you know? So it means that if we're going to have a certain generation of people that we like, if we want to see a certain generation grow up in a particular way, I think it narrows down to where they're coming from, like you know, their household and what they are being fed and what they are being taught. I think if we have so many parents and siblings, in as much as it's not like a sibling's responsibility to take care of their younger ones, but if we have both parents and siblings who are intentional about the growth of the younger ones, I believe it's definitely like going to be a better Zambia, because already if we're telling these people, if we're telling like kids and saying, okay, you listen to this, obviously the kid next time, you know, like next time, and now like we've got smart TVs and things like that, you leave the Wi-Fi on and the kid is on YouTube, you know, trying to like search the Umubanga podcast, what is it that they're talking about, and you're not with the child like 24/7, you know.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Do you know that Netflix can teach you anything and everything? Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to commit suicide, there are specific series on Netflix
That
which we can guide you on how to commit suicide. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to learn about sex, there's certain series on Netflix which will guide you on sex.
Yeah.
If you want to learn how to launder money, there's
money.
if you want like
they
are all these things, and you know, like I remember it was the other week when you asked me about a Netflix thing, and
yes,
I was like, it's been over a year, like the time I paid for Netflix.
Yeah.
And even when I am on the Netflix platform, there are things which I don't watch. The only things I mostly watch on Netflix are documentaries.
Yeah.
Because I know these are factual things, and I'm just trying to learn, okay, what happened to this person? Why did this happen? And but when it comes to movies now which are being produced, when it comes to series now which are being produced, and with the new guidelines which the Oscar guys put up, is that you need to incorporate all the communities.
Yeah.
So the communities, you know, the communities.
All of them.
The alphabet community.
Yeah.
So that's the agenda being pushed.
Yeah.
So it means that for your movie to win like an Oscar, it needs to have some of these things put in. So so there has to be control in all these things. Like, what are people watching?
Yeah.
Like,
I remember I watched I think she was actually a white person, right? To my surprise. I think I was watching a podcast or something like that. And she says, I don't have a television in my household, and my child doesn't like have access to a phone, you know? And she so there's this guy, Steve
Bartlett.
Yeah. He had
Diary of a CEO.
Yeah, Diary of a CEO. He had an expert who, I think she was like a former CIA agent or something like that. And then she was now talking about her experience. and she starts talking about like the power of a screen, like the power of a phone. So she breaks it down and she says, look, I worked in the CIA and I understand like the socials and things like that and the impact they have on people and how like people's lives, like people live a certain way simply because of what they feast on the socials. So she says, I don't have a phone and the TV in my house. So see, I have the power to control what my child consumes, you know?
Yep.
So if people were able to realize to say, wait, this is actually how much power you have towards the child, like before they reach like 16 or 17, concerning what they consume. Yes, they'll interact with different people and things like that. But like if you're able to shield them as much as you can.
Yeah.
I remember today Pastor was talking about like how he says, you know, we've got this thing where when we're praying, we leave the kids like at home, like, okay, let them sleep and whatnot. But what he says that is at times you need to carry kids into certain rooms so that they don't, like even when they are older, it leaves them wondering to say, wait, I remember when I was younger, my dad would do this, you know. I remember when I was younger, my dad would make me read the Bible. So now they would have this interest as they grow older to say, wait, let me experience it for myself. So I think we really have to work on how children are being brought up, like what they are feasting on and what they are being fed, and not
no kuchechi kumangala
Kumanga-
chongo
ah.
maningi muleteni
Mulekeni
maspika
maspika
zakuriramo,
you know.
It's really important for parents to go with their children. And speaking of the power of the screen, right?
Yeah.
I have a question for all of you guys. Aside from your pastors, where have you learned how to love a man or a boy or whatever you have in your life?
Yeah.
Where have you learned how to love this person you are with?
I think
Aside from your past.
Yeah, aside from I was about to say, let's not even, you know, no, that's because that's the honest truth. I have learned it from my dad. Like I have seen it with like, I've seen it with my dad, and I think the other thing I also say is
present dad.
He has been a present dad. I'm super grateful to God. But I also tell people, I'm like, I think even the way I've learned to love people and learned to extend grace to people is through my mom. Because I've seen people do like the worst of the worst, but this woman like still embraces people with so much love. So I can safely say that the love I have is love I've learned from my parents, both as individuals and even I think even the time I just started dating him, the one thing I told him was, I remember Alibezina, but him, you know, I told him and I said, I think one of the biggest things for me is the way you love God, because I have seen how much my father loves God. Like, like life's been crazy, but I've seen the man like still hold on to God, like him read his Bible and still share like snippets of his word. I think like one of the greatest lessons I still carry to date is the lady who helped Elijah. Like she never had a son and whatnot. So for me, that story is one story that like I can't forget, because this is the story Dad sat down for like he would like tell it over and over again. So I have learned love from my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's
Speaking to the mic.
Yes, so for me, it's also from my parents, because growing up, I'm like a daddy's girl. So like I would like spend time with my dad, and my dad, I think my dad has reflected. I usually tell people to say, for me, I think it will be very hard for me to settle down, because my view of marriage is the way my dad made me see it. Because growing up, I would see my father like he would be so patient, even with my mom. And there are times where I would know like something will happen. You know, as children we pick when something is wrong. But my father, even when I know deep down my heart that this man is not wrong, he would act like he's the one who is wrong and apologize. And another thing I noticed about him is that it's just part of who he was, because I would see him even...
He's still alive, who he is.
Okay, who he is, yes. I would see him apologize to us, his kids, when something happens. And growing up, like in my home where I grew up from, our parents would have conversations with us on their struggles, especially when we grew up. Like my mom would sit us down and tell us, no, this is what happened. And when I hear my parents' story, share with the dynamics around their love story, I look at true like people that love each other and people that forgive. Because there are times where I look at my mom and I'm like, trust me, what you went through, if it was me, I wouldn't have. because the whole dynamics of just Shona marriages is crazy.
Yeah.
And for my mom to just stay there and my dad to fight for my mom, like fight his entire family, like it's something that has encouraged me to the extent that for my partner that I look forward to settle with should be someone that's willing to do that for me as well. Someone who is someone who is willing to listen to me, someone who is willing sometimes even when I'm stubborn to accept that they are wrong, even if they're not wrong, just to keep peace and have the conversation later. Yeah, and that's one thing I also want to be intentional about, having real life conversation with my kids, like telling them, not hiding things from them. Yes, because like that it prepares them and it makes them realize what true love is. My father would take us to the movies with my sisters. My brothers would usually say, no, like dad doesn't love us, because dad would get like the females, he would take you for movies, he would buy you whatsoever you want, and most of the times when he takes you for a movie and you're going home, he would always tell us, the reason I spoil you girls is because I never want any boy to ever come and say I love you because they bought you ice cream, they took you for a movie.
Chilly or not chilly.
Yeah. So pretty much it's my parents for me.
The people get laid. Best of big butt too. Your width is 100 kwacha.
Give us the bottle of coke. Yeah. Crazy sins.
Yes.
I don't have buzz like these guys that have told you.
No, we want to hear your story. Your story is relevant. Yes.
So I would say an example of a home that was set into my life was when I was staying with my grandparents.
Yeah.
Back then, like I remember grade 1 up to somewhere grade 5. Then you know how it is when you're born from like parents who are not married. So there's all this whole shebang kind of family dynamics. So my dad's family got me. That's to say my aunt, who is the elder sister to my dad, got me. And I started staying with her. So for her, the kind of dynamic that I was introduced to was she and the husband never really used to stay together because she was the DC at the time in Mansa. And the husband was the husband was like a senior teacher in Winlunga. So there was that distance in the two of them. And every time they would like visit each other, that would be like during holidays when schools are closed and whatnot. When he would come, it would be all rosy first 4 days. Then we'll start hearing, no, you are wrong. Yeah. So I had this mentality to say, people are married argue. Yeah. They show the love, but they always like argue. Yeah. But then that's just something that I saw. But then I would always remember to say, I never heard my grandparents argue. But you know how it is to say, when you're young and when you're older, staying with two different dynamics. Yeah. So you're having this dynamic that you're seeing because you're now grown up. Yeah. You're understanding things. Then I'm like, okay, but grandma, they never used to argue. Or maybe I was just young. I never just used to see these things.
Or maybe they were good at like, you know how...
Pretending.
Not pretending. So I think the other thing, I'll give an example of myself. The whole time I've been with my parents, oh my God, but I've never seen them argue in front of you. It would be like, and it ends there. You know what I mean? But not like, yo, Shanisha, no. But
I saw that. So I had this thing to say, oh, married people are like this. So I promised myself, I think I remember, that should be grade 5, because I noticed, I was from like a village school. I didn't know stuff and whatnot. Yeah. So to better myself, I told myself to say I'll always work hard. Not because I knew to say I wasn't really like loved like by these people. It was just that thing to say, Mwana the only person that I would say, okay, I saw the love was my aunt. Like she just genuinely loved me because I'm my younger brother's daughter. Yeah. So she just genuinely loved me. But these others, it was just like, Shansha. They would make fun of me. Because growing up, I really used to be very small.
Have you met Mofya?
I used to be like very tall and small than the way you see the flesh now. Yeah. That was me. They would say, all those kind of comments. So I told myself to say, you know what? I'll bury myself. Like, I'll better myself. I don't have to prove myself to these people. That was me in grade 5. This mentality started in grade 5. I told myself, say, I'll better myself and I'll be great. And I used to tell them to say, the day I'll learn how to read, trust me, I'll be an excellent student. I'll be an excellent pupil.
Yeah.
And I always tried by all means to do that until I met somebody, a friend in grade 7, who really like introduced me to even like debate clubs, jets clubs.
Yeah.
That's how I became now like the Samantha you're seeing now.
Yeah.
But the dynamic of all this marriage issue and clarity, really, I would say that I gained it first time in 2022. I was invited for Love Sunday 2022. And before I even saw Pastor Daniel, I saw Lady Mavis, Mom Mavis, yes. I saw her like in front when she was greeting people, attended Love Sunday, and she was introducing the husband to go on the stage. And there was just so much grace. I refused. When my friend invited me, I was like, me, I'm from New Apostolic. That don't they invite like Pentane. Like I refused. And my friend was like, why are you a hard nut to crack like this? Why are you so rigid? Then I'm like, for me, if I've said I want to do this, I would just do this. That's me. Like, I follow my rules. You don't put rules in me and you expect me to follow them. That's not me. You don't do that. So she was like, Samantha, you're too rigid. Just attend. And when I attended, the first impression I had was like, she speaks with so much grace. I've never seen this. And from that moment, I think I told myself to say, if I'm going to get married, I should love this person. And I shouldn't like project whatever I saw people arguing in relationships, do what and what in their marriage. That was them. That's not me. That shouldn't define me. And I would say really the aspect of like relationships, I learned it from Pastor Mavis and Pastor Daniel. That's another truth.
So majority of us, like growing up, like our view of love or our definition of things is based off our parenting. So of course mine was learning from my parents, and majority of the things was that I pray I'll never do all these things. Yeah. So as one who'd always be home, I knew what was going around the house. Like I would hear the arguments, I would hear the what, and I'm just like, nah. So that is why it's always my prayer that God helps me in how I do marriage and how I
love your
do
wife,
fatherhood, loving my wife, and all. So some of these perimeters I have around me are not because of what, it's just for control, to remind myself to say I have to do it better. And the reasons why I have to do it better is so that even as my seed is growing, right, they're growing following an example. So to say, oh, this person loved the Lord, right, and even when akasavuka in their own space, they'll be like the prodigal son and say, but why could you
let me just go back.
So
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So like with what we've said, right? I was looking for a verse, I found it. Yes. Yes. So like Romans 5:20.
Yeah.
So Paul was saying the law was brought in so that trespasses may it increase, but where sin increased, grace increased all the more. So it's talking about how where sin is present, grace is also present. So now as the Christian space or as a Christian faith, what's our role in these things that are happening? Because we're seeing an increase in these things like sexual stuff. They've now become a norm. So like as a Christian faith, what's our role?
What we are doing right now is our role.
Talk about it.
So the more, and that's why I always tell this to people, right? We should not get tired in doing good. We shouldn't grow weary in doing good. Part of the reasons why I would always talk about people to attend Love Sunday, it's because it's a portion which I know I I think I saw that there were 6,000 people who came through, right?
Yes.
I know to say there are 100 people whose lives have been transformed. Like, never again. Sexual immorality,
Never
gone.
again. Yeah.
Alphabet, gone. Done.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
transformed and washed by the blood. That's the power of the meetings, right?
Yeah.
So my take is that we should not get tired in doing good. When sin abounds, grace even abounds, right? So meaning that our role as children of God, number one, is to daily preach the message of the gospel. And part of the reasons people always ask me to say, why do you always find time to go to her CV? I'm like, I know to say there are 2-3 people who are listening in and will be touched by the message of the cross. So we should not get tired in preaching God's word. When the world is throwing their sinful stuff, we should as well throw our righteous stuff. Like, we should boldly present it. Scripture tells us in Matthew chapter number 5 that we are the salt and light of the earth. Matthew chapter number 5 and verse 14, somewhere there. We are the salt of the earth. And then Scripture tells us that if the salt loses its saltness, it means that it's useless. So we become useless if we are not the salt of the earth. So when everybody's saying, oh no, I'll sleep around, it's okay, kissing is fine, like, it's okay, I can be able to sleep around and nobody's watching, right? You'll be different. You look at it and say, I'll preserve myself till I say I do. Right? And I will do things correctly. Right? I know right now we're in a world where if you want to follow Jesus properly, I said, if you want to follow Jesus properly, because we have people who are achoka mu prayer and gonna mu sin.
It's crazy.
Actually, akali mu prayer, I am a sin.
Yeah.
Wali mu prayer, once we are prayer meeting. Can't wait to see you after we are done.
After we're done.
Shandere boss.
Oh my God! Before that, Bakuma na face, and then Manje.
Yes.
Tukapembera tukumane.
Yes.
There's, I don't know, I've lost. I really hope I remember. But Pastor today in church mentioned something, and he says, funny thing is, all of you, or at least 70% of you, say, if they were to just give me just one chance to preach, I can shake this church, I can shake things and whatnot. But what he says is, do you realize that even for me, because before he started, he was at Bread of Life, right? So he says, the whole time I was at Bread of Life, even before Bread of Life was what it is now, I was never given a chance to speak and preach, So what he was trying to say is, let's stop saying, unless I'm given a podium to speak, then I will speak about this Jesus, So I remember, because I was seated at the media desk, right? So the guys at the back start saying, Amira chemu bas, like there's no need for you to wait for you to be given a podium at Love Sunday or whatever and be given a mic to say speak, like it's in the conversations where you're seated with people. In a bus, like if you really feel like me, I want to talk about this Jesus, speak about it. It's in the marketplaces. I think something I've noticed about my mom is, even when she goes to buy vegetables and the person who said there is smoking, she just said, if for and things like that. So it's really not about the numbers, but the same way you've said, remember, it is both about the numbers, sorry. But what I'm trying to say is the same way you said, despite 6,000 people attending Love Sunday, there are 100 people's lives who have been transformed. And for me, it's also these people that have been transformed. It's them not keeping the Jesus they've learned or what they've learned to themselves, but being able to spread it to the next person. Because one thing, it's like that thing where if you've been transformed, give it to the next person and let the other person tell 3 other people.
And that's the model of discipleship. The other day I went to a shop and then I was buying something. I was actually buying bread. So my bill was 45K. So I gave...
1,000 kwacha?
No.
45
kwacha. 45 kwacha, sorry.
Please.
So I gave this person a 200 kwacha. Right? So my change is supposed to be 155. Right? And then she gives me 555.
Jesus Christ. And pass a jackpot.
So and pass a 555. Right? So I'm standing there, I've gotten. And she's with somebody, and these people haven't noticed anything. So I'm like, 100 kwacha sioneka perp.
No? maybe if you said the 50 kwacha, yes, but
Yeah,
those are two
like the
different
100
colours.
and the 50, like
Yeah.
of course the 50 is bluish a little bit.
Yeah.
So I look at it, I'm like, so first things first, I'm always in this shop, like I always buy bread from there. So I'm like, I'm looking at her. So now I turn, I'm just like, oh, do you know that now I can say that God blesses in mysterious ways, right? She doesn't know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, do you know that I can say that God blesses in mysterious ways?
Yeah.
So she doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, do you know that you would have made a huge loss right
Yes.
now? And pretty much you would have lost your job even,
Yes.
right?
Or they would have cut from your pay.
Yes. So she still doesn't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, look, you've given me a 500
Oh my God.
instead of 100.
Yeah.
Right?
And she's now there like.
So the guy is like 5 zaza. Because it's a huge amount, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that I am always in this shop. And this person pretty much, of course, I've never like asked, oh, what's your name?
What's your name?
Oh,
Yeah.
right?
But they know that you're a frequent customer.
Yes. So now, for me there, it's me giving back the money, right? Beat, I didn't preach Jesus.
Yeah.
But there's something, a seed sown in this person's life. That,
Yeah.
oh, so this person was transparent enough.
Yeah.
Because I would have left that shop.
Yeah. And still use the same 500 kwacha to buy bread.
And come back again. Like,
Yeah. Drama and yeah.
let's tapela. Because imagine this in buses. Like,
so, just to cut you short, sorry.
Yeah.
I remember there was I think there was like a whole post or someone
Yeah.
created a video where he
Yeah.
said he's been getting on buses frequently and conductors haven't been getting much in passing drama. So he
Yeah,
says,
yeah.
guys, God has been, I'm like, bro, just pay the 10 kwachas
Yeah.
and the 20 kwachas. So yeah.
so like those, and that's this example is coming to the fact that
Yeah.
we're in a terrible, crazy world.
Mm.
But we shouldn't be part of the statistics of the people who are
Yes.
doing bad.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Let people be able to see good.
Yes.
You're driving your car. Somebody has done something wrong. Instead of you insulting and giving them
God bless
words
you.
or like, just say something kind. Pray for
Yes.
them.
Yes.
You know, sometimes I'm just like, ooh, you? Like, if I'm driving, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this person's
Going
pressure
through?
is. I pray that God makes sure they get home safe.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I look at it to say, I remember I think there was a day we were driving, doing drop-offs, and
Yeah.
this person was like over speeding. I'm just like,
Good
this
one,
person will
good.
hit a pavement. Like,
Yeah.
and then I'm just like, God, like may they reach
Please.
home safe.
Yeah,
Like, because
yeah.
it doesn't look well.
Yeah.
So we in a world filled with evil, let's make sure that we spread the
Spread
light of
good.
Jesus Christ, and we should not get tired. I think most of us as Christians, we get tired. It's the same thing. You're praying for your family member to become born again. Everyone carry that to waste.
Yeah.
Like, God, nalema nayo muntu, namsira
Nalema nayo.
manjamwan. Like,
Yeah.
we should continue praying. There's a song which I love by Moses Mwamba. I think the title is Nalila. He says this, that if you cannot preach to them, show them that your God
Yes.
is their God.
That's true.
Now, in you showing them, you show them love. You show them care.
Yeah.
You show them compassion.
Mhm.
You show them empathy and sympathy.
I think it's empathy. Sympathy is the yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
it's
Empathy
like
is more.
like being empathetic towards others, being concerned as well.
Yeah.
And I've seen now like the way it is with families and all is that we are only concerned about our brother and sister.
The
not
rest
even
of you,
about our cousins.
ish.
Like we are not even involved.
Like
We
now
don't
it's
even
me,
want to
me.
Yeah. So we need to like, because being a Christian, we're part of a community. And I know now we have a lot of denominations. The battle is always our denomination is better than yours.
This one is bigger
But
than
we're
this
supposed to be
United.
united. Scripture tells us in the book of Acts that the church got to a place where nobody lacked anything.
And if we were to get to such a
And
point,
daily, the
amazing.
numbers were increasing.
Yeah.
Look at, you see, one of the evangelistic tools which the Catholics, the UZZ, like all these people do, right, is that during funerals, like they show up.
Trust.
Like they show up.
Yeah.
That's how our parents who be like, like
Yes.
their mindset is to be shikat wino, like
yeah.
when it's supposed to be to receive Jesus and walk like him, but for them it's just
the send of that matters.
in a uniform,
Yeah.
like he are ready.
Shirefua bakabike kumutwe.
Yeah, so we need that as a community. We need to preach love.
Yeah.
We need to be our brother and sisters keepers. And another thing which we need to do is hold each other accountable. Which I do very well with all of you guys.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like I'm meddling, but just like it's for the betterment of you. Like, so we need to keep each other accountable.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell people, say, if you introduce me to your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah. So wait, before you continue.
Yes.
So the first day we ever we had met before, but like the first time we sat like across each other in a table and we're having a conversation. I remember one of the questions you asked me rather was, are you dating and do you have a boyfriend and whatnot? So I answered it, right? So now I go back home, not my mom, but there's a certain aunt, and she asks, no, how did the interview, the chat go and whatever? I'm like, yeah, it went well. So she was like, what did he ask you? So I'm like, he asked if I've got a boyfriend, if I'm seeing anyone. And she's like, Bushe, is he married? You know, does he have a girlfriend and whatnot? He sounds like he likes small girls.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can continue. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, so like, I know like, actually all of you, like, my questions to you were just like crazy questions, like, and they, if you noticed, I never asked each and every one of you a question about your competence in the media space.
Yeah.
I never cared about that.
Yeah.
It was more of me looking at, okay, do you have a relationship with Jesus? Are you loyal to something?
Yeah. Like, is there something that you at least show up for? Like, you're consistent with this thing.
So that's why, like, I'm always like that. And as I'm saying that, on aspects of keeping you guys accountable is that if you tell me to say this is my boyfriend and you introduce me to this person, right? If you cheat on this person, I am the one telling them, say, break up with this person.
Then what happens if it's vice versa?
Break up, regardless.
Like
you're not supposed to be together.
Yeah.
Worst of, you're even dating. If you're in the marriage space, then you'll be like,
yeah.
But if you're dating,
just
red flags.
Peace
We're
out.
not in the alphabet rally, like no.
Mic drops.
Accountability is everything.
Yeah.
But right now in the Christian space is that if I'm holding you accountable, it's not you're judging me.
I'm not. I'm telling you things to your face. You know that what you're doing is wrong.
You're supposed to be Christ-like.
Yeah.
And you see, like, I'm just like, which Bible do you read? Do you know how Paul used to caripira people? Like,
yeah, he would
like
bluntly just
like a caripa. Say, guys, why are you doing this? Why are you forsaking the things which we taught you? So morality has to be key. And part of the reasons why we have another huge side of the moral degradation is the fact that majority of our spiritual leaders do not live what they preach.
That's so true.
So it's up as a
yeah. It's let's not go very far. Some weeks ago, there was a story of a prophet in Mateo, right, who was taken to the police station because I think like 4 or 5 other women in the church got pregnant by the prophet, you know? So that's crazy. Like, what do you mean the man of God is the one giving out?
So, like, a lot is happening, a lot of moral degradation, but even when all that is happening, it should not discourage us. And one thing I know for a fact is this: when people are saying, no, a lot of men, I know a lot of men and women of God who are legit following Jesus and are committed to their wives, committed to their children, committed to just following Jesus and obeying his word.
I think to just add on is, you know how the circular world is loud about, like they come with full force. You get what I mean? I think that's something we as Christians need to learn.
But the other thing is this: the man of God and our wife can call loud for social media. Like,
so I think, I think let me clarify. What I mean when I say being loud is we've got so many broken people and broken relationships, broken Christians who are very loud about their brokenness, you know? So what I'm trying to say is I think let's also try, not necessarily strike a balance, but try and talk about the good Christian, like, how do I talk? Like, let's talk about the good experiences we've had with God.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like how God has come through for us.
Mhm.
I mean, via personal encounters. Like,
Yeah.
what is it that God has done for you? Like, let's be loud about it. Let's not
Yeah.
try and be shy about it. Because I think the other thing I want to echo is the fact that the 17-year-old girl, the whatever age that
Yeah.
girl is, and she's from Lusaka, where we have so many conferences, we've got so many things going on and talking about Jesus and whatnot. But
Mnamshita invite to Love Sunday.
the girl who
The girl
was talking
who-
about that.
No.
Okay.
Actually, mungamsakire mumchita na
Mungamsakire.
introduce kuwa senior pastor.
I think that should be done. So
You know, like actually, speaking of that,
Yeah.
these are things where we can find these people.
and like bring them to Christ. I think let's not, it's like the way when people are doing donations, they say, let's go, we're going to the
Yeah.
village to shan. But also, even like in Lusaka, places like, okay, but the honest truth is this.
Okay, places like people who are mostly found at East Park, like these are places like Ngombe,
Yes.
Kalingalinga,
Chaisa,
yes.
like these, what do you
Luangwa,
call them?
Chilulu, like all these.
Urban, what are they called? Is it urban or?
Kaya.
Anyway, yeah. People that are found in such
Ngakambe
spaces.
peri-urban
Peri-urban
kanji,
kanji,
meaning, Dinango. Let
So,
me
but
Google.
what I'm
Yeah,
okay,
continue.
what I'm trying to say is, let's not just evangelize at. There's this thing that like, even though we try and run away from it, we all want to associate ourselves with the elite, right? But the thing is, Christ's kingdom is not just for the elite, like it's for everyone. Christ did not just interact with rich people, but he interacted with everyone. So I think that's a mindset we need to have, and also be able to preach Jesus to even people that they may not look appealing to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's where Jesus wants you to go. So let's not run for these podiums, but let's be able to just, like, you see girls that are indecently dressed, it doesn't take an hour, like even just 5 minutes of your time. Get out of your car and just like have a conversation with them, talk to them. You remember how, like, growing up, a Jehovah's Witness would knock on your gate, like, even if they've seen you, like, they would knock. So it's us as Christians just having that, what's the word? Like having that fire, like that zeal to say, okay, let me
But
just.
on a pressure, when the shita evangelize, was go on a bunch seat.
Anyway.
But yeah, we need to be shining examples and all. And reasons why, look, we are still vying for a sponsor because we are a clean content podcast. We are not troublesome.
Yeah.
We're not. For people who watch, actually, I think there have been so many moments we've had on this podcast which would have gone viral. But for the sake of peace and growing properly, we decided it's okay, we will grow organically. We'll not doctor certain things to just gain numbers, because scripture tells us that what's the profit of gaining the whole world and then losing your soul? So yeah. Anyways, we dealt on that mountain for too long.
Bring it back to when we're talking about, I think we're talking about, like, when you're driving on the road, people are going through things.
Yes.
Like, people are going through things.
Yeah.
So I remember, I think this week, last week, because now, like, we started a new week, right? There was a video circulating on the socials where a traffic officer was fighting. Okay, the passenger, a certain lady, actually there were like two ladies, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's two ladies.
Yeah. So let me say a traffic officer, and I don't know if I should use passenger or just like a lady, a woman.
Was she a passenger? It felt like she was from her own car.
Okay, yeah.
And then like her documents were gotten, and then she wanted them back.
Yeah. So apparently what had happened was, I think her documents were gotten. So what she starts to do is she starts recording the conversation that they have going. So actually they were having like a conversation with the traffic officer. So she gets her, like, she whilst having her phone, she now starts recording, right? So now the traffic officer notices that she's recording, and now that's the whole, I think, in the video where we see, like,
oh, so that's the background?
Yes.
Or somebody gave a background?
Somebody, like, there was a particular, I think it was on Mwamba to Wonkani, or where they said that's what actually happened. I think the spokesperson of the police
as well said that.
is the one that actually mentioned to say she was recording. So the reason as to why apparently the officer grabbed
the phone
was because she was recording. You get it like without consent and things
So
like that.
okay. So the other question would be: did the officer say something wrong, which would like
So see,
incriminate
so now
her?
that's what we don't know. Because for her to record, meaning there was something that was said.
Oh, and do you know the thing is that immediately you lay hands on the law enforcement person, we'll get our president.
Yokaba.
So, bitch, you were correct.
Yes, but just the fact that you held them in their uniform.
But me, I think I experienced something similar.
You
Unaba
beat somebody?
No, in terms of where they want to get your phone.
Yeah.
So like, I escorted, went to buy like a bike, that side at carousel. So like after getting the bike, so like we gave someone to go and put like fuel, then they take it like home. Now the person who went to put fuel, like the license that they had, we didn't know that nowadays for you to like go around with a bike, like
You need like a bike license.
yes, like there on your license they need to put A in
What
front,
bike?
like motorbikes.
Oh, okay.
Vroom,
okay.
vroom.
Yes, they need to put like an A.
That
So
you
if
can
you-
ride
Like
a bike.
provision
Yes.
to be able to.
So if you have a seat, so in the past it used to be like if you have a seat means
You
all
can
those
steal.
BAs like you can steal, but nowadays you have to put in front to indicate.
Mhm.
So it hasn't yet been brought to many people's awareness and whatnot. So like we didn't know.
Attention. Mhm.
Yes. So now this police officer just got the person there. So the person is calling us when we're just about like we've just left. Like so we had to come back and just like, no, look, what's wrong here? Then the police officer was just refusing. So like I don't know, one of the guys like was talking to another police officer from somewhere. I was like, these guys who are on top. So like he was recording a video of the police officer.
Yeah.
So now he saw that video and he was using my phone.
Mhm.
And the police officer got the phone.
The phone.
Mhm.
Now the issue now, it was no longer about the bike. It was
But
now
the fact
about
that
the
it was
phone.
recording.
So now it became so bad that we had to start no exchanging words, no words, no, I'm not giving you this phone. Like it took time. I think we stayed there for over 2 hours till now. They were like, no, okay, what we're going to do is delete that thing first. So that we deleted the video, then they were like, okay, let's write for you a report. You come to Emma's-Dale police, blah, 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 and whatnot. So now the guys were like, let's just deep. It's not like they'll find us.
Let's just what?
Let's just go. Like
Thank
they
you.
won't find us.
Yeah. My question is this, right?
Mhm.
We Zambia is something else. Cause okay, let me first give this narrative. This week, Tuesday, Wednesday, no Friday. Sorry, Friday. We're driving towards the airport, and truly and honestly, the person who was the driver that we're with was like, like where you're stuck in that traffic, be up a hybrid.
Mhm.
Then now you're like, I'll go face in fast,
Get
because the
busy.
person had
Mhm.
landed.
Yeah.
So we're rushing towards the airport. In just where the police camp is, like, there's that train that takes you to like police camp,
Yes,
Kumbuyo
yes,
Kwa
yes,
Stadium,
yes,
and
yes,
straight.
yes.
Yeah. So just there, that's where they hid underneath the tree
With a speed trap.
with a speed trap. So next thing we know, he just gives a sign, say,
Park.
park. So we park. And then, so the person who was driving walks up to the police station and he says, that was Kakamba 9. Kakamba kaendani mukambe kumoto kae parked and whatnot. So he goes there and we're just like, tell him to write your charge sheet. Next thing we know, no, 300. And anyway, an amount was left. But what I want to say is this.
If you're caught speeding, you're not supposed to pay there and then.
That's crazy.
You just get a charge sheet and like, look, I'll tell you this. Last time I was caught and so this should have been like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
There was like a protest around Intercity. So I'm in Kamwala area. So now the people are running towards Kamwala. Then I'm like, it's not safe. So I did not go around the roundabout.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
passed like this. So the police officers followed me. No, dangerous driving. I'm like, look, this is like, no, you have to park the car, follow us. I was like, sharp. Like, oh no, they wrote me, I think my charge was like 700 kwacha.
Yeah. So they thought because it's a 700 kwacha you want.
Like, you have to pay this.
Yeah.
Like, where am I supposed to pay? You have to pay to the bank or pay through us. I'm like, what bank? Like, I think it was like Indo Zambia Bank. And paja pakamwa like Indo Zambia Bank. It's like, sharp. Give me the charge sheet. I went, paid. They were upset.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That I paid.
That you paid.
Coactual
thing, not via thing.
So it's the same thing. That's how, like, if every time I'm caught, like, over speeding, sometimes I'm just like, you guys just stopped me for the sake
like
of stopping.
for stopping me.
It's not like I
there's
was even
nothing.
over
Yes.
speeding. Like I didn't even go through the speed limit.
Yeah.
But for the sake of, I'm just like, okay, not write me the charge
Charge
sheet.
sheet. Let me just.
And that's what I always do.
And
I
you
have
know,
never
So yeah,
thing like
you've
speeding
never like
ticket like
yeah. So what they do now apparently is that it's not send money anymore. It's get cash. So even like if you say I don't have cash, like just mobile, what they'll tell you is
we'll give you a number.
It will give you a number. So so even if you are to go and like have like report them and whatever, and tell them to say they are saying like send money. So even if you were to go to the police station and whatever and say no, look, this person told me to send money, they'll be like no, there's no chance. So now it's like
remember there's a time
it's a
Chela
withdraw.
Tukuta posted on his Facebook to say
What did he say?
he was I think caught speeding Shimawala.
yeah.
Then he's like, the police officers at Shimawala
Okay.
road, the Chilanga road,
Yeah.
use this number and then they do get cash. This is the name of the person they use and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like it's just crazy. And so now, anyway, getting back to my question, this is what I wanted to ask.
Mhm.
Why are we not allowed to take videos? I understand that there's the whole consent thing, right?
Mhm.
But if we're going to be honest, if I'm going to ask you for your consent if I should take a video, you filter what you want to tell me.
So like developed nations like America,
Mhm.
like all police officers move with a body camera.
Ah, okay.
So they have a body cam and it's recording everything which is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So that if something happens, they can probe to say, oh, so how did you shoot this person?
Yes.
How did this thing escalate?
Yeah.
And so there's all that happening. And so part of the reasons why I have seen that there's a growing trend of recording police officers or any person you are in contact with is because of there's so many things which happen. Oh no, instead I'm a drugism thing.
Yeah.
All those things where
When
you
you-
can be
Yeah.
the thing. They can plant something.
They can plant something just to like try and incriminate you.
Yeah. So yes, but another thing is this. I think to your point is that people are going through a lot, and then they just snap.
It's like, okay, this one wasn't like, he wasn't like upset like physical beating, right?
No, but the lady
The lady
in that case would be like maybe pressure, like work
Nama
pressure,
shock.
school pressure, family pressure.
And you know, I think one thing I never understand is this. I'm driving, I've been caught.
Mhm.
Tell me why you want to keep me here for 30 minutes.
And I think what would help us now is if some of these things can just be digitized.
Yes. Like just
Instead of Vama
No.
writing Vama channel. Like,
just tell me what's wrong and I
yeah, like just digitize it and then I know countries like Botswana, right?
yeah,
You can commit all your traffic offenses. Like for the
they're
whole
just
year,
chilling for you.
go and renew your
Yeah,
road
ba.
tax. Then you'll find to say you owe the
Yeah.
government 20,000.
20,000,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, I think I was even excited when we had those speed cameras like mounted. I was like, oh, now it's easier. I don't need to be running away from the police.
Yeah, like
Nikuona
Nikuona
chiwo speed
charge
camera
baza ku- yeah,
ni hapa niende kulipira hapa. Like
Yeah.
so I was excited that those things would be up. I was excited that now certain things could be done online, and I feel that some of these charges should be digitized so that it's easier. There's no back and forth, and then that as well will reduce on corruption.
True.
Because part of the reasons why there's like people want to be on the road is based off corruption. Like sometimes, like, I remember the last time I was caught by the traffic lights by Lewanika Mall.
Yeah.
So there's where you turn into Lake Road.
Mm-hmm. So
it was green on both sides, but then there were no cars coming from this side.
Yeah.
So I'm like, since it's green, I can go. Oh, I was caught. No, you have to wait for it to indicate that you can
that you
turn.
can now turn.
I'm like, okay.
Fine.
So we are getting you. Go talk to the madam. Like, madam, what has happened? Like, no, this is an impoundable offense. I'm like, impound me then.
Yeah, nope, it's fine.
One of the people who always says that we're in a time in this whole world is Mr. Banda, Joyce's husband. It's just like
Una time.
I'm just like, let's go. So the two of them spoke and be like, no, the president will be coming, and then if we leave this post, okay, you can just go, sir.
Just like that. See? So
Like, so
Yeah.
another thing is just to know the rules
My
around
people
some of
perish.
these things. Yeah, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So,
Crazy.
yeah. One of the other interesting stories was the Drug Enforcement Commission's graphic design
Yes.
poster, farewell poster for Jack Mwimbo, which felt like,
an RIP.
yes, a rest in peace poster. Which is why it's important to have like proper graphic designers. I don't know why most government agencies don't want to invest in proper
So,
graphic designers.
This is what I've learned, right? Ish, I hope I don't get shot for this, right? So, the whole internship experience I had at that particular organization. So, what they do is it's more of now like, I think people, Zambians, don't appreciate creatives enough. Okay, simply because someone did someone did mass communication, it doesn't mean they know how to do graphic designing. You understand what I mean? I feel like we need to have a mindset shift, like not just mindset shifts between you and I, but even like ensuring that CEOs and like government institutions are aware. You know what I mean? Like simply because someone did mass communication, it does not mean they're like a good photographer. You know what I mean? So most of these government institutions just have PR people thinking they can get the work done.
Yeah, and I see it most of the times. Like,
and what's worse off is even when it comes to like payments. I remember I sat in a set. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, I sat in a certain room and I'm listening to the figures and I'm like,
So, because I see
for what
this,
you want.
like, your communications person is the one as often go fuck
Mabana. But yes, everything, the whole lot.
To connect to my mic. Akope pa phone pack.
Yes.
Akope to my picture.
Alembe
story.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, this person is doing 10 people's work.
And also like cheap things. Because I've seen with photographers that government meetings that they hire. I usually
do they hire them? My guys were pa event center, right? They just go in, take pictures, and then be like, mwezi mwako pako, pepe mirako. Zingat, 200 sharp.
Because most of these government meetings that I go for, I usually don't even have pictures to post because I'll be judging the people that are taking pictures. I usually just go and I see, I'm like, let me see the pictures. When I say it's just, no. I'll just be like,
the people who I laugh at a lot are journalists. Apologitaka have a story. Sazo gweda na camera.
It's crazy.
Akangi was to zoom in.
I've ended on a tripod stand.
Like, it's just crazy work. Like, notice how we always fight when we're live streaming.
Nikaichosa hapa swazambo mveka ulo swazambo nika.
Just like crazy work. So we like our agencies need to understand that. And another thing which we've noticed, the new trend is that when the ChatGPT made for me a poster, right? Now the funny thing is that they don't understand that when you ask ChatGPT to design something, right? It will use the wrong coat of arms. It will use the wrong colors. It will use like everything wrong. Like
that's total opposite. And I think now AI is here.
Yes.
It's here to stay.
Yeah.
But the honest truth is this. AI can't generate the mind of a creative.
Nope.
So we need to be able to appreciate creatives and learn how to use AI correctly. Yeah. We've got so many creatives still who are using AI. But even if they tell you to say this was made via AI, like you refuse. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. So let's stop being greedy. Like, the other day I was telling my aunt and I said, people who are in government institutions, the money is not yours, please.
Yep.
Like, sis choka mutumba, yeah, okay, to my future employer. Like the money is, but what I'm trying to say, oh my God.
Let's get a sponsor. You will not need a future employer.
Please, sponsors, please do come on board. So, but what I'm trying to say is, it's not your money, you know, and it's government money.
Yeah.
And if we're going to produce excellence, and like these things are not just the problem is we think social media is just for Zambia.
Yep.
It's not just for Zambia. Like it's worldwide.
Because look, if I need to verify a story,
Yes.
I need to go on the
On the actual-
government agency
yes.
pages, and then I
Yes.
find
It's something
weird
else.
looking
Showers.
stuff. Like it's one of the
AI.
things which I have done now. Like pretty much all the things I use are all paid for platforms.
Yes.
Like
So it's
I think the only free software I have
yeah.
is Microsoft Word.
Okay. Okay.
It's the cracked one. But
Yeah.
the rest of the, like the Premiere Pros,
Yeah.
the CapCuts, the
They are all paid
Canvas,
for.
the InDesigns, everything
It's
is
paid
paid
for,
for.
yes.
Like I have access, like it even gives me, like I have access to different AI tools
Yeah.
in order for it to make my work easier now.
Mhm.
So like we need to pay for these things.
It's an investment. It's
'Cause
a good investment.
funny thing is that we don't even know how the visual identity for Zambia, like, well, what's
crazy.
the, so, yeah.
Crazy.
I think another
think-
story which I have is the
Mhm.
train derailing and killing 2 people.
Ish. You know, how do I put it? I don't think the train system in Zambia has a lot of what's the word? A lot of
Bureaucracy. Or
I don't know if growth is the right term. So I think the only train system that I know that properly works, like the one that I know it works like Laka, is the one in
Kapiri
Livingstone.
to
No, there's that the Kapiri one, but there's also the one in Livingstone. The one
Livingston to
the-
Lusaka.
no, not Livingstone to Lusaka.
Or the, but what do you, is it? No, not Batoka something.
I don't know,
something.
Batoka something.
Yeah,
The
yeah, Livingston Express something
Yes.
something. Yeah,
so with that one, we can genuinely see that it's working and it's bringing in
revenue.
revenue.
But that's privately owned though.
yeah.
So.
So I feel the GRZ
Mhm.
needs to.
No, but I think this train's derailing and wasn't it based off an accident, like a car hit into it?
No,
Or
I
it
don't
just
think
fell
so.
on
It
its
just fell on its own, and you can see the rails. You know, like a spring, the weight.
Yeah. Anyways, the railway lines are old.
They need to be. What's the weight?
They're old. They're super old.
What?
Reinforced or
Yeah,
rewired.
Rewired.
They're old. I know the Kapiri to Tanzania
Mhm.
railway line will be worked on.
Yeah.
I don't know, because you remember the Eurobond
I think so.
when the PF came into office?
Yeah.
They like borrowed like $750 million to revamp.
But like,
No, actually, the story was that we were supposed to have like electric trains, like trains which are fast.
just like pew,
if I'm going to Ndola, like I'll be in Ndola in like 30 minutes, like
but
super fast, like sivna puede poponza.
The money.
Those ones they will get a lot of money because the whole idea of them, right? It was like they were trying to use the science that was in that
engineer.
no, the science that was a bit in the Wakanda movie. So they were trying to make trains that use magnets.
No, like, so if you go on YouTube, actually, I need you guys to go on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
And search for Lusaka Decongestion Project, right? Do you see these flyovers you're seeing all around, right? Those things were supposed to even have like railway lines, right? So you have a train from town to the airport, a train. You have like flyovers, Pajapa, Pakamwala,
Yes.
There's supposed to be roads, Yiri pa Mwamba, Yiri Pansi, like
Oh.
different layered things.
Yeah.
Tinaonachi ma shidamkos like the ndiye marozi wanatipasa chila.
Me with
So it's the same thing with the $750 million
Mhm.
which was borrowed. It was supposed to go to Zambia Railways to revamp it, and I think Professor Clive Chiro was even brought in. Like, this is a world celebrated scientist who's created things which are working in other nations, and he even came back here to make sure that he's supporting the nation, giving back to the nation. One of the issues which got him fired, I think, he was living, I think, by the Fosway apartments where he was paying like 90,000 per month. So they are like, no, he's embezzling money. But boss, mom just like UK, he's living a high standard of life, and then kufutika, like, it should be able to match up. So Yeah.
It's like
Anyways,
my
we'll be
friend
dealing with these trains.
my
Cindy
my
Ojana
friend-
Chazing at 4 days from Livingston to Lusaka on a train.
my friend had done a study. It's like what these Chinese do, right?
Mm-hmm.
We in Zambia we always go for the cheaper thing.
Yeah.
So like the Chinese, my friend went to study in China. He came back and he did this whole project of construction. So he was saying, you know why Chinese roads usually, like when you go in their countries, you find a road that was there that was built maybe in 1990 something. It's still like okay. It's because for them they do the normal mixture that we do here, but for them they add rubber. So they get that rubber like the one for tires. That's what they add. They mix to it. So now there's a rubber for construction. So they add to the mixture to bring that to make the tarmac like stay for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But you find when they are building here, they don't do that. So
Yeah.
like it's and so I was thinking about it. I was like, are they that bad people that they just don't want to like they just don't want to do a good job? But I was like, maybe they're not even paid enough. No wonder they're just like,
People like money.
why should we stretch when we know that we're not even paid enough?
Massive corruption, really.
Greed.
Yeah, greed, but we need patriots. I think that is why the Kaunda era of people, like, you know that Kaunda would fire you. No, so they had an honor code, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the government of Kaunda was socialist. Do you understand, like socialism, capitalism, communism?
Yeah.
So socialism is an aspect of, if you're going to gain wealth,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to gain it properly.
Yeah.
And
Should
then
be clean. Should be
then
straight.
it should as well be fairly distributed.
Yes.
Right? So like Kaunda would find out to say, oh, so and so bought a house in London. Be like, you. How? And then you would just tell them to say, look, we signed this honor code
So if you
that there's no
there's nothing, it's not just you.
Yes.
Everyone must benefit.
Yes. And it's like, oh no, we're not supposed to do this. This is as people in thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be like, oh, because you didn't honor this, I have to let you go.
I have to let you go. Peace out.
Bye. But look at statements like the immediate past Minister of Health who told the people to say, you should
That-
eat some a little bit.
Should it, like, what do you mean? And you are, I think we also forget that every time you stand to speak, even if you think there's no one listening, there's always someone listening.
Yes, we are listening. And this is somebody whose ministry has got massive corruption.
Yes.
Like the Ministry of Health, every year in, year out, they have done something.
Yes. The numbers are not numbering.
Just in hospitals, healthy professionals, most of them are becoming corrupt because when you go to the hospital nowadays, you're going to the pharmacy, they're like, we don't have medication. Someone else comes, how much can you give me? They give them the medication, which is
Sad.
supposed to be gotten for free. At the labs, nowadays,
Yeah.
if you just want express results, you can get them. Just pay the guy that is found by the car window.
Yep.
I want. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's a mindset shift.
They'll just
that we
follow
need.
you. You're going, just tell you, Mommy, come.
Anyways, last story
Yeah.
before we close, because we've done a lot of time. So, news making headlines is that difficulty now is part of UBND. Yeah, so difficulty he's no longer going to run independent from
Yeah,
Monali.
he's
He's
now-
now joined UPND, and he will fully support the able leadership of His Excellency President Hakainde Sami Hijilema. Like
What's
so,
his name? Sami.
yeah, it's his middle name.
Me, you know the problem I always have.
Mm.
I think the problem I always
Mm.
have is this. When I was picking what to do, like for my personally,
Mm.
like in terms of a career,
Mhm.
I had to think really hard
Mm.
on how I want people to see me. You know,
Mhm.
like I had to really think hard. I looked at everything that I was good at, and I had to pick something that I knew at this thing. People will respect me.
Mhm.
You get. So there are certain professionals that we don't, especially in the country where we are in, like in
Mhm.
Zambia,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we don't yet respect. So it's really hard for you. It's like being a content creator and just waking up today and saying, today I want to be I want to stand as a president, everyone will be like, content creator president, nix, we can't vote for you, So like it's really hard for certain people because of what you've showed us. We can't just pretend like it never happened. It happened. We've known you for a long period of time, and all we've ever seen you, when we see you, we see jokes besides you, because you're always cracking jokes, you're always making us laugh. So it would be very hard for us to take you serious, even if the vision that you have behind you is good. But for the fact that it began with jokes, it's very hard. It's like, have you ever heard people say, I'm not respected in this room because they know a certain personality of me that people that have met me now don't know. It's very hard for us human beings to erase that. We still have that in our mind. So even and what will happen is, like, if we allow you to get into power, we'll be having reservations like, no, we can't, because you're not serious. You're not a serious human being, but you find that you're actually a serious human being. It's just that for you took it as a job. But for us, because this is Africa, it's not like America where people can crack jokes and still make money and still do like amazing stuff and stand for these positions. This is Zambia. We're just going to look at it and just be like, no, we can't vote for you. No. It's like how the Simon Moore thing ended up. Like now that he's not even. It's because it's very hard.
Still standing.
He is, but like,
speak to who's who.
Yes, but like most people are just like nix, because it's
They're
very
just like what?
like no, like nix is like no.
Okay.
So like it's very very hard. I've tried, like there's certain people that I look at, I'm like, oh, this person, what they talk about is really unique, and I would love them to be here. But the problem is what you've showed us, like who we know you to be. It's very hard. And most of these people, the reason, so like for him, I feel the switch is maybe to gain trust from people, because from the time he's been independent, people are just like, nah, like because of his whole comedy thing. Because most people in minority constituents were just like, how do you expect us to vote for a comedian? Like, it's like that. So for me, I think it's something that everyone must learn from. Even as you pick a career, think first on how you want, like certain things that you would want in the future. Would I want to be a politician? Okay, this career I'm picking, is it going to align? Because everything that you have in your life must align. The certain things that I do now that I'm building myself towards, that I'm not really going to, that I'm not going to show fruits now, but are things that I know they will show fruits in the future, and they're taking me to a place that I want to be in. But imagine the way I'm living my life now, then I expect to maybe be a pilot, end up as a pilot one day. No, because I've been building towards other things. So I think for me, it's just that with these creatives.
Anyways, in politics, you have no permanent enemies. You switch whenever you feel like. So, when I'm Brian Munduile, Makebi Zulu,
about to sing a certain song.
thing. It's everywhere. Anyways, we close. Samantha sent me a story of that lady who insults a lot. That lobola should be abolished on all 2 pins.
Interesting.
Everybody born in the 2000 because immorality is high. So, but anyways, we pray that the Lord will preserve this nation.
Amen.
He will keep this nation safe.
Amen.
And we will walk in the fear of the Lord, and the message of the cross will be preached over and over and over and over and over and over. And we'll continue making Jesus famous.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Shall share Jesus boldly.
Any thoughts?
The fear of God. I think let's have the fear of God. Like, it's one thing to talk about it, but like, let's have it. So I encourage everybody who's listening to just share first things first and subscribe and like, but to have the fear of God and share their fear for God. Yeah.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you've been informed, transformed, as well as inspired. So from me, Dennis Mubanga Kabwe, we say bye-bye.